Hey guys, so I just sat down to start editing today's video when I realized that I totally spaced and didn't even do any kind of intro at all whatsoever. So I figured I'd just hop on here and kind of let you know what today's video is about, even though you already know if you click the title. So I'm just bringing you guys along with me while I'm doing some gift wrapping and just showing you how I wrap my presents. I actually love wrapping Christmas presents. We're not only just Christmas presents, but any kind of gifts, like when it's anyone's birthday or anything like that. It's really therapeutic and I just love making pretty things. So I'm gonna show you how to do that, and then, like I said, just kind of bring you along and you guys can see my tree and all my gifts and everything once everything is all wrapped and finished. So these are the two wrapping papers that I decided to go with this year. One has the holly berries and the tree branches and it says Happy Holidays, and then the other one is just a white with gold polka dots. Now this ribbon that I have, as you can see, it's kind of a mess, but it is tons of ribbon that I've collected over the years, and I decided to go with this really pretty red velvet one, then the gold, and then also I have a really pretty green velvet one that I decided to use as well. This is my absolute favorite tape that I like to use while I'm wrapping gifts, just because it's like extra clear and you cannot see it at all whatsoever when you put it down on your wrapping. Next, I get this crinkled paper. You can order this off Amazon or at Michael's. This one is from Michael. And I just think it's so much easier than using tissue paper, and I don't always love the look of tissue paper either. So this is nice and festive, and again, it's super simple and you don't have to think too much about it while you're using it. So once I place the gift inside the box, I'll start just pulling up the crinkled paper on all four sides just to make it a little bit more visible. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that the gift boxes that I'm using you can find at Walmart. They come in bundles, so you get multiple in a pack and all different shapes and sizes, but they're mainly squared, which I really like. I'm not a huge fan of the clothing gift boxes that are more rectangular, so I normally stock up on these too, just so that I have some throughout the year for birthdays and whatever kind of gifts that I'm giving. Normally, they're just plain white, but I decided to go with some of them that had the Christmas, more festiveness on them this year. So I'm someone who used to get super frustrated while trying to wrap gifts because I never really understood how you knew how to cut the perfect size wrapping paper for each gift that you had. So there's a little trick, if you can see, that I just measured up the one side of the box, because then you know that when you start folding it down on the sides, it's going to be exactly halfway on the top and the bottom, so it'll meet together perfect. Then I roll the tube of wrapping paper all the way until it meets the box, and then I know it's perfect, and then I'm going to get a perfect straight line if I just cut all the way up the roll. So now I'm just double checking to make sure that my paper is exactly perfect and that I measured it the right way, which I did. So now I'm going to flip my gift upside down, and then I'm going to connect the paper on the back. That way it's less visible, the crease, and then once you get your ribbon on there, you're not going to be able to see it anyway, so it really doesn't matter, but just so it looks a little bit nicer. Now I'm just going ahead and taping down the first side, which I like to do this just so that you're able to pull it all the way around the gift really nice and tight so that you don't have any loose paper anywhere. So now I'm going to fold in the side, and I'm going to make sure that I press my hand all the way along the bottom and make sure that it is in the perfect triangle shape. So I do that on the top, and then I also will do that on the bottom as well. Then once that's done, you just fold down the whole top flap and then tape that, and then you're going to fold up the bottom flap and then tape that as well, and then it is perfect. Now I am just going to flip the gift around and then do the exact same thing on this side as well. Now that you have your perfect little present, you're going to go ahead and add some ribbon. I normally get all my ribbon at Michael's at the end of the season because they're on super sale. They have it in the beginning of the season as well for 50% off, but at the end it's even more on sale. Okay, so the trick to making the perfect bow on a gift, which I know it's really hard to see what I'm doing here, but I'm basically holding up the ribbon all the way at the top. I can just eyeball it at this point or just know about how long I need it to be, but if you don't, you can just do a faux bow. Just kind of wrap it all the way around your gift, and then you kind of will get an idea of how long you need it to be. So again, for me, I can just eyeball it, but the trick is that you want to make one side, when you do your first knot, you want to make one side about 1.5 to 2 inches longer. Then when you make your first loop, you're going to use the end that you left a little bit longer to actually do the loop around and to do the tie through, because that always takes a little bit more fabric, so then it should come out even and perfect on both sides. So now here's where the finagling comes into play, because as you can see, that bow is not cute. So you just kind of do a rough little tie of your bow, and then since your ribbon is wired, which it should always be wired because it makes it so much easier to work with, you just kind of start forming your bow, start pulling it through. You don't want your loops to be, for your bow extremely long. You want it to just kind of go right to the end of your gift, or maybe a little bit before the edge. And again, you just want to keep fluffing it out and just play around with it until you get it to where you're happy with what it looks like. Okay, so last but not least, we need to make the little tails on our ribbon. So it's super simple. You just fold it over and you cut into the corner, as you can see here. And I just do that on both sides. And then you're done. You have your cute little gift.